Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for your support. Today I'll be talking about the Chesky Original Masters one-step series. We'll get to it in just a moment. Before I get started, I want to apologize that my voice is still a mess. I'm drinking ginger, lemon, and honey tea like it's going out of style, trying to keep my voice in shape to do a video, and it just is not cooperating. This is my favorite mug, my Audio Art Cable mug. This episode is brought to you by Audio Art Cable, the exclusive cable in the Pressing Matters reference system. I'm just kidding. Oh, I would love a sponsor. Anyone want to get to sponsor me? Come on. I'm open-minded. Okay. So let's go back to late 80s. In the late 80s, there was a company called Chesky Records. And Chesky Records did something that no one else was able to do up until that point. If you were an audiophile in the late 80s, you were reading the absolute sound. And if you're reading the absolute sound, you were definitely reading the coverage of RCA Living Stereo. In each issue, they'd review another 12 titles, and all the record collectors would go scrambling to go find them. This is what caused the increase in price of RCA Living Stereo over the years. Well, Chesky came and did what I'm sure a lot of companies wanted to do, and that was get the license to reissue some titles from the RCA Living Stereo classical catalog. There's about 12, I believe. This is one of them. This is the famous Scheherazade from the Chicago Symphony Orchestra with Fritz Reiner conducting. This is one of the most famous RCA Living Stereos of all time. And you might not recognize it because the cover art's different. They did not get the license to do the cover art. And at the time, they got some criticism for their somewhat clunky typography and boring covers, but you know, they did the best they could. And actually, today, I find them kind of charming and interesting in their own right. They did a really good job. They did this on tube equipment. And it established Chesky as a presence in the audiophile community. They also did a series of Reader's Digest reissues, which are even more interesting. This one is Brahms Symphony No. 4 with Fritz Reiner and the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. These are famous recordings from the Reader's Digest series. These were recorded by Decca, by Kenneth Wilkinson. So they are very, very special. There's a number of LPs, but most of the material came out on CDs. CDs were really taking over at the time. And, excuse me. And a lot of audiophiles first heard this record on CD. It was released as an LP, but it's not very, I don't think there's a lot of copies around. It's on a Caram, Rio After Dark. This says here, Chesky Original Masters, the 1989 US debut of Ana Caram, protege of bossa nova legend Antonio Carlos Jobim. This was surprising to me that they were able to get him on this record, but they did. And the magic that happens on this record is palpable. It's really, really wonderful. She's a great singer. She's a great proponent of this kind of music. And this record turned out really well. Many of the cuts were used as demonstration cuts at the time. And any audiophile that was around in that time period remembers this vivid cover. Well, on the hype stickers, it says one-step pressing, 180 gram vinyl. And these are from a company called Evosound. Now, this is the way this works. Evosound has licensed the opportunity to do these reissues with Chesky. Chesky Original Masters is the name of the series, and they're sticking to the original master concept. Chesky is providing high-resolution digital masters to Evosound to create these one-steps. So they are digital-based, no matter if the original recording was digital or analog. This is probably out of necessity, but also I think Chesky wants to preserve exactly the sound that they want you to hear. So I talked to Evosound and they said, no, we don't do any mastering. We don't do any manipulation. We just do the best pressing we can and cutting we can of the digital master that Chesky sends us. So that's how this works. And it works really well. The Caram album is wonderful. Really, really great sound. Very, well, like it says on here, and this was on all the original records. It says, Chesky Records, you can hear the difference. Recorded with minimalist techniques and without overdubbing or artificial enhancements to ensure the purest and most natural sound possible. And it's true. This sounds extremely natural, just like you're sitting in the studio, without studio trickery or embellishments. The voice sounds wonderful. All the percussion is just sparkling and sounds great. Everything works with this record. It sounds excellent, and I love this particular pressing of this. Prior to this, I only had a CD, and that's long gone, so this was very welcome. The pressings are done at undisclosed locations. So when I contacted Evosound, they said facilities in Europe and I think they said Asia as well. I think they're probably being done at Palace or Optimal, but I don't have a confirmation on that. They are using the one-step process, so there is that too. So it really gives you a close approximation of exactly what they inscribed on the lacquer. And I think that's really cool. Also, I also like the fact that these are one-steps, and they are digital one-steps, but they're not overpricing them. These are retailing for $39.95, so very, very reasonable for a record of this quality, utilizing the techniques that they're using for these. Add in the very nice jackets, and you have a series that's really well done. The second one is Chuck Mangione, The Feeling's Back. This is the famed flugelhorn player's trumpeter's debut on Chesky. He did 2 records for them. Of course, he became extremely famous for a couple of his albums. Feels So Good, and I think there was one after that. And he became a superstar with those 2 records. And this was kind of like he was in semi-retirement, and Chesky became friends with him and coaxed him out of retirement to do this record. They were doing their normal minimalist techniques and everything, and he was used to the studio environment and overdubbing and second chances to do things and everything. So he was a little uncomfortable in this situation, but he was able to pull it off, and they created a beautiful sounding record that, while it's not my personal cup of tea because I find it a little bit sleepy in parts, it's really mellow, but beautifully played and wonderfully recorded as well. The Feeling's Back is an interesting record. If you are all interested in this, please stream it first and see if it's going to be your cup of tea, which just reminds me I need a little more tea. But I'm glad to have it in my collection now. It is kind of a classic Chesky title, and it looks absolutely beautiful here and sounds the part as well. So that's a great title as well. I want to talk about a couple of other releases that came my way. This one was sent to me by a gentleman at Evosound. It was released for Black Friday, but it is also a one-step pressing. from the original Master series. Now, I had no idea that David Johansen had done a record with Chesky. This was in his incarnation, David Johansen and the Harry Smiths. You know, I was into David Johansen when he first started his solo career after the New York Dolls. I remember seeing him in Providence, Rhode Island in a small club, and I was very impressed with his stage presence. Later on, I kind of fell off the wagon when he started doing the Buster Poindexter thing. And this is like another reinvention of himself as a blues singer. And this is very, very interesting, and it sounds really good. A unique record in the Chesky catalog, and one that I think, maybe some people don't even realize is out. This was around for Record Store Black Friday. I think it's still available here and there, and it's definitely worth checking out. Do stream it first to make sure you like his take on the blues. But it was pretty good. I liked it. Last but not least is this. Now, this doesn't say that it's a one-step, but I have seen it advertised as a one-step. This looks like it was a special Record Store Day edition done on colored vinyl, so it may not be one-step, but no matter. This is Rosa, Passos, and Ron Carter. It's called Entre, Amigos. And if anything, this feels even more of an authentic kind of bossa nova type record. Really beautiful. Of course, Ron Carter plays beautifully on this. The singing is wonderful, and this is a great record. Oh, I see a limited edition here. This might just be for the Record Store Day white vinyl edition. There's 1,000 of these. Let me show you how pretty this looks. There's an insert inside as well. This is, I don't usually go for colored vinyl, but I couldn't resist this. It's so cool. And it really does sound wonderful. Pressed really well. It could be a one-step, maybe not, but I think the black vinyl version is. So I'm sure if it was, they would mark it on the hype sticker here, but they did not. It just says RSD Black Friday and Audiophile Jazz Collectible, 180 gram white vinyl LP. Oh, it does say one-step pressing. Yeah. Beautiful union of bossa nova and jazz, and it certainly is. A very, very good record. She's extremely talented, and of course, Ron Carter too. So I just wanted to kind of get you up to date on what's going on with Chesky and Evosound. I reviewed one other Evosound title, and I was really in love with it. It was not a Chesky title. It was Foreplay, Elixir, a Bob James project with Lee Ritenour. And that came out really, really well. So, I think this is very interesting. I mean, you have digital masters being sent to Evosound. They're doing a wonderful job with the processing of the record, doing a one-step process, pressing them carefully, presenting them well, and getting them out there for $39.95. I don't think you can go wrong. Let me know what you think about the Chesky Original Master Series. And until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.